What's a very common thing that you just can't relate to? Restaurants that force their staff to act, sing or engage in fake banter. Just make my food please and leave the theater to the thespians. To be fair though, some of them are probably actual thespians that need to be servers as a second job. I worked at a themed restaurant and a lot of the workers were aspiring actors. I was not, but I'm a nerd who enjoyed putting on a show. Smoking. Nearly everyone in my family and all my friends smoke. I remember growing up saying that I'd never try it and being told yeah that's what everyone says. Well it's true for me and I've never even been tempted. If you don't grow up / hang out around smokers it's honestly kind of hard to just pick it up unless you actually want to, especially nowadays since smoking cigarettes isn't as common. Nobody smoked in my family, so I never viewed it as a normal thing to do. I always viewed smoking as a bad and kind of pointless habit. Because that's what I was taught I guess. It's kind of sad that the people who told you that had that attitude, as if becoming a smoker is unavoidable. I went to a Big 10 college. I swear everyone was having the time of their life but me. I couldn't wait to graduate. Me too. I couldn't afford a football ticket and didn't major in anything I couldn't have at a school closer to home. Oh well. Exactly. I was so indoctrinated on the big college experience. It was a letdown, and an expensive one at that. It felt like 4 constant years of showing up to a party too late. The obsession with branded things. Clothes with the brand name on them just look tacky for me. I'd much rather have a regular old graphic tee instead of a t-shirt with Guxy on the front in gigantic bold capital letters. It's pretty whatever most of the time. Wear what you want and all that. But the obsession becomes incredibly annoying when people act like they're better than you because they spent several $100s on a single shirt. Those haute couture fashion houses have remarkable branding media teams behind them. They cultivate a sense of exclusivity and train the public to desire that. Often, though, the heavily branded items are actually not a fashion house's best made product materials and construction aren't superiorly better than any average store. Theorem but produced and made specifically for a certain audience and ones who want to be seen wearing the logo for the feeling of luxury and exclusivity while also promoting further free marketing for the brand. Close bracket. It's most often their more simple looking garments or basically the garments not ostentatiously covered in the brand's logo that are incredibly well made and other real expensive pieces. That's what I've learned from watching documentaries on the back end of the fashion industry. Being quiet late at night when your parents are asleep. My parents are deaf. Damn. What a life. Not being afraid of being heard. Well, not by your parents at least. I don't know about siblings. So many possibilities. I'm stressing just at the prospect of being a child and knowing if something happens to me in the house I can't just scream for help. Sharing your whole intimate life on Facebook / TikTok / Instagram / etc. It's just gross. A coworker of mine posts no less than 3 hours worth of video onto his Snapchat daily. Every single meal he cooks and eats. Every single time he feeds his turtles. Every single walk he takes with his dog. It's insanity. And who cares? Running a brush through my hair. I have very curly hair so only finger brush it when it's wet which isn't often. Seeing people grab a brush and run it through their hair when they've been in the wind or just to freshen up. I wish. ! I have to brush it in the shower because it's just too curly and thick to do anything with. My sister, whose hair like her father's and would never understand the struggle, grabbed a round hairbrush one day and thought it would be funny to put it in my hair. It got stuck and I just sat there and cried. Another time when I was really young my aunt, who was my father's whiter half sister, decided to put little tiny buns all over my head with newspaper elastics that ended up getting stuck and ripping out my hair. I literally bled because of it. Getting upset with people for things they are not in control of. I have to be careful of this. I grew up in a family where my parents would be extremely angry at me and not tell me until one day they would blow up at me, or they would act very passive aggressive and I had to figure out if they were angry or not. I learned to watch people really closely for signs they were mad at me or on their way to blowing up at me / ripping the rug out from under me when I least expect it. As an adult, it's a conscious effort to prevent myself from not taking the things other people do personally or not thinking that everything someone does is some sort of sign or personal attack. I'm an office worker. I like my job and coworkers. I also really like it. I can listen to podcasts or watch TV shows while working, and I love the fixed schedules. Coming out of gastronomy work, that's heaven. Please tell me your secret to getting an office job, or at least just CTBH. I hate working retail, and the biggest point for me is the fixed schedule. Weekends off are a huge bonus too since I need to start college and the one thing holding me back at this point is my job. Big expensive weddings. Having dreams and aspirations. I never thought I'd get to be an adult, so I never had dreams. BTW, thanks for the awards guys. I've never gotten so many, so I appreciate all of you. 3/22. This year made me stop, and suddenly I started to question myself, why I do what I do. Shit is scary, man. I don't know me loin. Gee, my butt off edit. Thanks for the replies. The replies made me realize that while I'm kinda lost, I'm in the right path to find myself. Wish you the best this 2021. No. Keep going. That awareness is the beginning to true wisdom. Keeping up with the Joneses apostrophe. I don't give a shit how nice or shiny your things are or mine aren't. I'd rather have money in the bank than a new car every year. My car is 6 years old and works fine. And still looks nice. Why would I trade it in just to keep up? Same with phones, clothes, computer, even stuff for my home, etc. I like mine. And I get good quality stuff so it lasts. To trade it in for the sake of it would be silly and a waste of money. 6-year-old car? Who are you? Richie Rich? Lol. Edit. Wow, this kinda blew up today. For the record, I drive by choice and 04 Nissan Frontier with 270k miles. It's never left me besides the road, except for one blown tire that wasn't its fault. People taking out loans for their wedding expenses. One of the #1 reasons people get a divorce is money. No better way to start off your marriage than in debt, I guess, or just debt in general. I understand medical needs, schooling, to an extent, or other emergencies. But people take out loans, or just rack up credit card debt over dumb things like hair/nail treatments, or buying another car/appliance/stuff they don't need. Source: Family of Lawyers. Including bankruptcy. Pro tip: bankruptcies make you pay all that money back. There's no way out of it. Edit: forfeiting your assets, like in an American Chapter 7, is still paying your debt off just with your assets instead of your non-existent money. Most people are totally financially illiterate when it comes to debt and how to properly utilize credit. I always used to think that the only people who held CC debt were people who were in very bad financial standing due to an emergency and a complete lack of other credit options. Then I found out people willingly pay 14% interest on all sorts of non-essential things despite having lower interest options available or the option to forego non-essential charges. People are weird though. There's a huge aversion to getting in lock from the bank, but CC debt is acceptable. Why is the lower interest rate alternative seen as less desirable? I'll never know why. Thinking that being a dick is funny. People who think being in a Harley's funny, I think, just crave any attention they can get. I have an uncle Hosanahali in the outside but deep down is really caring. But to me it just seems like he never learned how to express his emotions and feels he's protecting himself by being an ass. Same thing with my good friend. He's an only child and his parents make good money and stuff. But there's definitely a factor missing that they should have given him. He's great to me, but I noticed he lies and stuff for attention. He also acts like a dick sometimes. I see through it, but I also think he's trying to look tough. That trope where the husband is a useless piece of lazy shit who can't possibly feed himself or care for the kids and house without your divine feminine guidance. It used to make me feel bad, like, am I supposed to be running this shit by myself while my man just lies on the couch after work? But then I realized no, it's the trope that's shitty. It's everywhere though, and women think it's somehow cute or empowering to perpetuate it. Having a task to do and just doing it. I have depression and many simple tasks feel like walking with GL butt in my shoe. I know I can do them and should, but I often just can't. Edit. I'm really grateful for all the awards and upvotes and for people reaching out. I'm doing pretty well lately. For those that expresses concern. I'm especially encouraged that more than 5,000 people found this relatable in some way. It sucks that we've all struggled, but it's so great to be reminded that you aren't alone. You aren't some freak or failure. At least 5,000 other people have had the same struggle. Keep fighting, friends. We've got this. Same. I just can't get the energy to brush my teeth until mid-afternoon, let alone get anything productive done. When that aspect gets really bad, I'll undermine the disease and schedule an early meeting with somebody somewhere outside my home. It's usually less effort to get ready than to make an excuse or explain that I just couldn't do it. Small talk. Go big or go home. So, know anyone who died this year? Apostrophe. The word daddy used sexually. I have been calling my father daddy for 30 years and even just calling him dad feels so weird. Now I really have to find a new name for him. As a father, when the kids stopped saying daddy and started saying dad, it was a sad moment of realizing that they are growing up. I couldn't even fathom hearing it from anyone in the other connotation. Edit. Autocorrect correction. Hating your wife. At least it's common where I live. My wife is amazing, and we make each other better. Edit. Mandatory thank you for the awards. To answer some common questions, my wife and I have been married for nearly 5 years. We have hit the post-honeymoon phase, and we are both American. Angry sex and macup sex. Oh, what? No. If I'm mad at you, I don't want you to ducking touch me. I don't have angry sex. I have angry abstinence. I never got this either. My anger is just anger, and the last thing I want is sex or intimacy. I can barely be in the same home with someone I'm mad at, let alone in bed with them. My wife and I fight here and now. Let's settle this. You asshole. We do not let things fester. There is only angry abstinence. But it lasts maximum 3 hours, and then we are affectionate again. I'm blessed. Some couples, apparently, have fights that lead to month-long dry spells slathered in resentment. I couldn't live like that. Speakerphone in public. I barely even want to take a normal call anywhere in public with a whispered tone. God, my dad used to do it all the time and I would absolutely burn inside. A friend of mine can do even better. He puts the call on loud and holds the speaker up to his ear. Edit. Typo fix. Running is a form of relaxation. Yes. Sauna people come this way. Hanging out in loud crowded places. Give me a place where you can actually have a conversation and elbow room. I like large parties. Fear so intimate. At small parties there isn't any privacy. F. Scott Fitzgerald. The Great Gatsby. He's actually got a point. If a party is big enough no one cares, and you can have one-on-one time with guests. Small are intimate, but usually all guests are involved in conversation. Having what is considered a normal social life. I have the social desires of a sim. Sometimes my bar gets low, and I need some interaction, but once my bar is full I can go without for a while. My sims were always tired after work, and would get up late at night when nobody wanted to hang out, so they stayed alone. That's more realistic than I'd like to admit. Fighting/yelling/hostility in relationships with my significant other. It could very well stem from my childhood, I guess. It's not to say we don't have disagreements or the relationship is flawless, but obstacles always have been resolved without much issue. Fortunately this held true with all of my romantic relationships. I've always lived by the saying conflict is inevitable. Fighting is optional. My god. Yes. People all around me think that's normal or even desirable. And am horrified when I see them screaming at each other and saying stuff designed to hurt the other person. Yeah. I don't get it either. How can you feel the need to hurt the person you supposedly care for just to get a point across? Words can be devastating, and they can't be retracted. Taking and sharing pictures of everything, except for when I'm traveling. I take maybe 20 pics a year. My boyfriend is like this. He very rarely takes pictures, I used to be too, but I lost someone last year and realized I didn't have one picture with them, and it broke my heart. So I promised myself that I'd take more pictures. I don't understand people that take pictures of everything, but I do try to capture moments. Not to post on social media, but just so I have them if I ever lost that person. Edit. Oh my god, I didn't expect the awards or replies. Thank you. Sending everyone love that also lost someone really dear to them. Death sucks. This is going to sound crazy, but I've started taking tons of extra pictures of my kitty cat for this reason. She's almost 14 years old, and though she's still healthy, I know her years are numbered, and I want as many memories of her as possible. Gender reveal party. I can't understand the ones where one of the parents is visibly upset. Can you imagine watching your gender reveal party video later in life and seeing your dad actually get angry that you're a girl? Always makes me cringe. I hate that. Especially the ones where you wear the colors of the gender you're rooting for. Like, why is this important to you? People who feel the need to post nasty, negative comments on others' posts on social media. Don't like it? Scroll past. Unfollow. Unsubscribe. The world has enough negativity without it. Sneaking booze out of your parents' liquor cabinet. I hear stories about teens doing that, and there was plenty of access in my house. But I never touched it. I think the more open your parents were about not getting mad if you had a drink, the less you want to. My parents were the same way. They always said, if you want to try some, just let us know, and I never really did. I offer sips to my kids so they can try it. I usually get the yuck face after they try it, and I think external things can have an influence too. Friends, etc. I have an alcoholic brother who was first given booze by family friends way too young, 12. My two other siblings drink their fair share, and they started drinking mostly when they turned 18, and it used to be legal in the US. But I heard too much from my mom about her abusive alcoholic dad, and had fairly straight edge friends. But they all drink now, and I rarely do. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.